we're breaking down the epic ending of Moon Knight episode 3.
The finale, we see Khonshu do some magic timey-wimey stuff with the sky. He does like an Etch-a-Sketch wave. He brings back time to everything.
It's like Tony Stark's computer, but the entire planet.
Everybody on Earth is having a seizure looking at this. They have no idea what's going on. Khonshu gets captured, right, by the other gods, and it seems like what we were saying before, like these guys have agendas. Arthur Harrow was working with, I guess, I don't know who that is, Horus or whoever the big guy in charge is. He's like, yep, I told you it wasn't good. And now Khonshu's in this little bitty statue. Arthur Harrow's happy, walking on friggin' glass out of the Pyramid of Giza. We leave Marc Spector has no freaking powers left, and he has to go to the tomb to try to fight this guy who you summon demons. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I'm excited to see in this world without Khonshu, without Marc Spector powers, without Moon Knight. I don't know if they're going to survive.
Well, you know what definitely has to happen? Mark has to figure out how to get Khonshu out, right?
Well,
that
yeah,
was kind
obviously.
of the crux of the end of the episode. Like, hey, I know I'm going to be put into a statue by doing this. Like, make sure Mark gets me out kind of thing. The question is, will Mark do it? Because he doesn't want to be Moon Knight after this. He doesn't want Layla to be Moon Knight.
I mean, he has to.
I mean, to get his power back, he probably doesn't
For season
want
2,
to.
Chris. What are you talking about?
I think he's not going to want to and try to do his Mark because he's a mercenary and can fight. But I think the powers are going to be too much, whether, you know, Harrow's summoning more decals or whatever the hell, and Amit gets freed, he's going to need the power of the Moon Knight. So I think of it, he's going to reluctantly do it. The other side of this, which I thought was interesting, which might play into this, is Layla herself. Now, we don't know fully about Layla's backstory, but we do have this scene where they go to like this medieval times of ancient Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets announced that she was recently in Madripoor. Now, we know Madripoor has ties to Falcon Winter Soldier. We know Sharon Carter's the power broker there. Could this affect Layla and or have dealings with that as well? Does she have these ties to Madripoor? Do we see someone like Sharon Carter and the power broker bring in some big guns to help now that Mark is powerless?
Oh, I love that idea, and that's the perfect kind of crazy thing I love to talk about. Like, oh, you get all this kind of stuff here. Go big, go wild. Everybody's coming in and we're doing this. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Neither of those two things are going to happen. What's going to happen is they're going to try to go into the tomb. They're going to try to fight. We're going to get the discovery of the third personality of Jake Lockley. Because he's also going to be able to fight because Mark maybe can't do it because he's worried about something. Jake Lockley is going to appear. He's going to fight. Steven's going to be the one that says, we need to get Khonshu. We need to get that power. Mark, I know you don't want it. And I know it's risking Layla and everything, but we have to do it. And it's going to be like full circle of like Steven accepting his role within the system that he is in with, you know, Jake Lockley and Marc Spector, but 2, also accepting the duty of becoming the Fist of Khonshu, right? Because there's 2 superhero personas, Mr. Knight and Moon Knight. And he doesn't have a name for Mr. Knight, right? Or I don't even think Moon Knight really has a name for himself. But I think it just makes sense that like both parts are going to accept Khonshu, and that's why we have 2 different identity personas. And that's also why I think we were talking about before with the whole Jake Lockley thing. I don't think Jake Lockley is going to have his own superhero persona because he's not necessarily accepting Khonshu. He's just along for the ride, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with that. And I do think what's interesting is possibly Steven accepting Khonshu, because if you think about it, Steven has no real purpose besides his knowledge of ancient Egypt, right? He lost his job. He was, you know, Arthur Harrow was going after him because of Mark. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't really have a focal point in life. And another Jake Lockley hint might even be the fact that the mom phone calls, right? Like, who knows?
That might be Jake Lockley, yeah.
Might be Jake. So, like, there's all these things that kind of point to Steven kind of either ruining Mark's plan of stopping being Moon Knight by the end of this, but Mark might have to relent to those to be like, at least it won't be Layla, and Layla realizes, obviously this is what's been going on the whole time, and what he has been telling me is that Khonshu wants me next. So I think those 2 are big points, and I obviously think we could agree on that Amit will be released, if not the next episode, episode 4, episode 5, and start causing havoc. But I think we're in for an epic fight, and yes, I think we're going to see Jake Lockley. I think Amit's going to be freed. I think Khonshu's going to be freed. And I think Mark is either going to accept that he's going to be Moon Knight forever to save Layla, or Steven's going to be like, listen, teach me how to fight, and Mr. Knight will play a bigger role.
I like that. Thank you guys for watching that video. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed Moon Knight as much as we did. Let us know down in the comments below what you think.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you are new, subscribe, turn on notifications. You do not want to miss any of our Moon Knight coverage. And if you missed it, it's all over the channel for you. As always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Com Crew, and we will see you next time. Later, skaters.